everybody. Wendy Sellers here, the HR lady. Thanks for coming and welcome back. We are here today to talk about the importance of personal and employer branding. And boy, what a great topic this is, since most companies are still looking to attract and, of course, retain employees. And, you know, your employer branding is 100% going to help with that. And then for the few of you here that are secretly looking for another job, we won't tell, but your personal branding is definitely going to be necessary there. So, hey, JC, how are you doing up there in upstate New York?
Wendy, I'm doing pretty good. I was really excited to get ready for this show today because when we're starting to talk about an employer's brand, it really touches on a topic kind of near and dear to my heart and my history a little bit. And I'm gonna throw this at you right in the beginning, and maybe the guest will grab onto this and run with it a little bit too. I don't know. But 75% of job seekers consider an employer's brand before even applying for a job, and that's according to LinkedIn's 2021 Global Talent Trends Report. That's huge, Wendy.
Hey, it kind of like verified what I just said. Thank you, LinkedIn. With that said, let's introduce our expert and global keynote speaker, business trainer, and executive coach who has been on stage and online since 2008. Welcome, Sima Dahl. How you doing?
Hi there. It's Sima, everybody. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. Hey, talk to us a little bit about your background so our listeners know you are the person to be talking to about personal and employer branding.
Well, listen, it's not a pretty story, but I was that shy, awkward kid who couldn't look you in the eye, shake your hand, and tell you what my name was and what I did for a living. And it was really holding me back. So I made a commitment right out of the college gate to work on the way I showed up in the office. And then, of course, along the way, we had to work on the way we showed up online. And it falls under the leadership umbrella, but I worked very hard to make a name for myself. And when I did that, the jobs followed, the pay raises followed, the opportunities to speak and get involved in other organizations followed. And it's really a powerful set of tools for today's go-getter.
I would have never thought that you were shy at any point in your life. So thank you so much. Hey, how can professionals use their personal branding to stay relevant and thrive, whether they're looking for a job or they're looking to stay within their own company right now?
Yeah, it's true. What happens is we become really savvy networkers when we're looking for the job. And then once we get it, we just keep our head down doing the work and don't pause to look up and engage with the culture, the hierarchy, the intra-company network. And we use silly things like our job titles to describe what it is we do for a living. Meet somebody new who just joined the organization. Maybe there's a merger and acquisition and you start telling people you're a project manager level 3. What does that mean? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What do you want to be known for so that you can get more opportunity to thrive and do work that's meaningful to you in the enterprise?
Thinking about the bigger picture, Sima, I'm absorbing what you said, and I'm immediately thinking about the procuring of the relationships. I'm thinking about the building of trust. I'm thinking about how you take your personal brand to the next level. And also, I found a little something from Career Builder to help us out here. 85% of hiring managers say a candidate's personal brand, including their online presence, influences not only their hiring decisions, but their advancement opportunities. Back to you.
It works both ways. So if I am kicking tires, which many of today's job seekers, I forget what the statistic, JC will bust me with the accurate one, but it's something like 65% or more of today's job seekers are just kicking tires. So they're looking at your organization online, looking at your people. How do your people show up on LinkedIn, and making judgments about what we see on your website, about what I can read about you in the community newspapers, and really deciding if it's a culture and a workplace that fits my moral compass, my my desires and aspirations for who I want to be in the world. And it works in both directions. Companies love to find people doing silly things online to bounce them out of the talent pool, but they don't realize the same is happening in reverse. So everybody's looking up everybody. And just even new employees. I remember I worked for a global company. I was part of a 5,000 person worldwide marketing team. And my first global call, everybody was hitting me up on LinkedIn. And at that time, we didn't have Slack or anything else. So everybody was friending me on Facebook so we could chat with one another about the global call that was happening in real time. And all of a sudden, I realized all these people are making decisions about me and my potential to fit in and do good work based on these social media side posts. And I started taking it all really seriously. And now I teach other people how to do the same.
Going back to that stat you wanted me to dig up, I found it for you. So it's estimated that 65% of employed individuals are currently looking for new jobs, even if they're not actively dissatisfied with the current roles. Now, that's according to CIPIA's 2023 data. And these job seekers are often just kicking tires. They're exploring other opportunities without a strong commitment to leaving. And that trend reflects how many employees are keeping their options open, even if they're not urgently seeking a new career change. And there's something to be more active in your searching and active with your voice and brand than just letting it ride on by. I agree with you.
I have a really simple framework for thinking about personal brands. It's your essence, expression, enrollment, and evolution. Couldn't be simpler because that's what makes me happy to take the complex and break it down into simple nuggets that can serve you across the lifetime of your career. In your essence, it's truly what brings you joy. Like, I'm not a data person. I guess that JC might be. Data. I'm a word nerd. I'm a wordler. I'm a crossword puzzle doer. And I really enjoy slinging words together in the briefest way possible to convey complex messages. That's who I am in my essence. Now, how do I express that in a way that the buyer, the manager, the colleague sees a value in that in the food chain of the organization? And that's really getting comfortable with talking about yourself. And so few people aren't. And then enrollment are the behaviors we exhibit offline, online, to sell others into that personal brand story. Who I am, what I do, what makes me special, how I move the needle forward. You know, we each of us have to get present to how we save or make time, save or make money, and be able to speak to those numbers. It's leadership fundamentals. And then lastly, evolution. Well, we grow, we evolve, we change, and there are jobs available today that weren't yesterday. And you look at the explosion of AI and whatnot. So being able to stay nimble and flexible with our brand story helps us continually catapult the competition and build careers that bring us joy and make us money.
Right. Wouldn't that be nice? Right. Not only be happy, but also, not be broke.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, though. And it's so important for the people that are listening who are looking to change their career with the same company or with that other company. You have to learn to get comfortable with, talking about yourself and kind of bragging. You're your number one cheerleader. You can't rely on somebody else. We were just interviewing somebody else right before this podcast for another show, another podcast show. And I forgot to mention to him, Toastmasters. He mentioned it. I went through Toastmasters. He went through Toastmasters. You're in Toastmasters. If you're an author, if you're a speaker, if you're none of those and you're just saying, I'm not comfortable with speaking in front of other people because of whatever reason, definitely check out your local Toastmasters. You don't even have to join. You could probably just go and be a guest so you can get comfortable talking intentionally to other people. And in the big picture, it doesn't really matter if you mess up as long as you're able to recover from that. JC,
Yeah,
I feel like you got something to say there.
Yeah, I need that. I need that type of session, Wendy.
One of the most powerful...
No, you don't.
One of the most powerful exercises we do in any Toastmasters meeting is extemporaneous speaking. So you have like a minute to answer a question on the fly, succinctly, coherently gather your thoughts in like a 1 minute hallway conversation with the supervisor. How many people freeze? How many people fail to lean into a meeting and speak up for all the noise in their head? And it really holds back your brand and your potential forward motion in any organization.
Yeah. And now switching gears a little bit here, because many of our listeners are tuning in from the employer aspect of like, okay, let's talk about employer branding, but I still want to, bring into this the whole, Toastmasters or similar organizations. If you are hiring people and you're interviewing people, what you just described is something that those interviewers could get used to, of like rapid fire questions, or a candidate says XYZ and now you have to fill in the gaps. You have to fill it in legally. First of all, that's a whole other conversation. Yes. But Toastmasters can definitely help them too. But talk to us about, for the companies that are listening today that are looking to attract people or retain the people that they have, how can their employer branding make a significant impact?
Yeah, and I understand like not every company has dozens of HR and talent management professionals like sitting around with nothing to do. I mean, I myself, when I worked for startups, was the sole marketer and often wore the HR hat. There's simple things that can be done. Start with looking at how your hiring managers show up online. If you don't look like you can get out of bed in the morning, when I look you up on LinkedIn, we have a problem. I want to see that you've had a vibrant career. You're committed to teaching, to mentoring, to growing, that you care about the industry or the line of the business that you're in. That's exciting to me, the candidate. And I'm going to look not only at the hiring manager, but the person interviewing me, the phone screener, and the people who I will be working with in my department. So the way your staff show up online really does either draw people in or have them think twice that maybe they're not the rock stars that they want to be working with. And then two, the website. Are there photos of just 10 men, or do we see people of color? Do we see women?
Yeah.
Do I see myself in your organization? And I have to say this one, I can't believe in this day and age we're still talking about it. But if the instructions to apply are to fax your resume, I'm on my phone. I want to apply right then and there, leverage the technology, use LinkedIn, make it super easy for me. Because again, I'm on the train commuting to work. I'm not necessarily looking, like JC said. I'm tire kicking. But if I find something that sounds attractive, I might throw my hat in the ring. And then it's up to you to recruit me.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And yes, I'm spot on with you. Like, please, employers, update how you're accepting candidates. Oh, come in and give us your application. Now, they're not doing that. You know why? They're at their current job. They can't drive over there to give you their resume or their application. It's like, come on, get some realistic expectations going. And then additionally, making sure that your job application, if you even have one, is legit, meaning it's legal and it's compliant. A lot of questions we used to be allowed to ask, we're not allowed to ask anymore.
That's right. That's
right. A whole other topic for another time.
And make it sexy. I mean, there's, the average job description starts with the 55 things you want from me. But I have to go to a different page, if I can find it at all, what you're going to do for me. And today's job seeker wants to know, what will I get when I give all of myself to you? That's by way of culture, rewards, benefits, perks, flex time, whatever you can offer. Make it really easy. In fact, I would go so far as to include this information in every actual job ad, because I don't want to find it. I want to know that this is a place that gives to me as I will give to them.
I love it. Hey, I have a question. What's the sway factor?
The sway factor is the degree to which your network knows who you are and what you do. They know what a lead looks like for you. So let's take a really silly example. The out of work job seeker who posts on Facebook, wish me luck, I've got a job interview today. Well, that's one thing. or wish me luck. I've got an at-bat for an accounting position in a large audit firm today. It's my dream job, which is gently notifying your network what it is you want from them, what it is you want them to keep their ears open for. It's why every blue moon, I'll post something about my work on a site like Facebook, maybe even Instagram, where I'm all about work on LinkedIn. Leverage your networks wherever they are. Do you remember, Wendy, a book called Who Moved My Cheese?
Yep. I think I have it right there on my bookshelf, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've had more jobs than boyfriends, so I've had a lot of opportunity to work all the fundamentals. I was in high tech, and every 2 to 3 years there was an acquisition, a bust, a merger, you name it. And I read that book, and I decided to put my network on notice. And I sent an email saying, "Heads up, this is what I'm looking for. I need nothing from you right now, but keep your ears open. And from time to time, if I think you can help me with the connection in a specific company, I'm going to follow up." And people still reference that email as something they wish every job seeker did.
The way that you talk about communication from the individual's perspective really resonates. And I immediately transport myself into the mindset of managing the brand of the organization. And we're not just talking the pretty pictures or the social media even, but all the way down to the communication.
Yeah,
and if
vision, culture, all of that.
And if we're in the midst of a culture war and culture change, and we are trying to hire new blood, and we have someone who's forward thinking and leaning into it and willing to fail fast and doing all the right things, all the stuff that you're talking about, if the interviewer is part of the old hat, part of the old regime, and they're not putting the best foot of the organization forward, the consistency about how you speak about the brand is then flawed. And the culture that you want is kind of out the door. It disheartens me. It does. And I was curious if you could share just a touch more about the importance of that communication and laying the base of your culture, if you think what I'm saying aligns a little.
Absolutely. Communicating a cultural shift, especially, we still have to talk about what the heck are we post-COVID? Who are we now? Are we somebody who comes into the office? Are we flex time? Has it created a shift in how we respect or relate to one another? And everything from signs in the elevators to fireside chats to top-down videos to inculcate a body of people to believe in a cultural go forward. But if you're not walking the talk, it's going to fall on deaf ears. It's really got to be based in truth and proof points as you move in that direction. But you're absolutely right. If you've got a manager with no sense of humor, no sense of daring and adventure, who's interviewing a creative, for example, you might imagine a disconnect right there in the seat. The personal brand alignment is off. And this can be trained. This is simple. This isn't difficult to fix. Basic training. I work with lots of clients to train people how to show up online, how to dialogue with people from different, and even once you have the job, building your network within the enterprise,
right,
across functions to make a name for yourself. It's powerful.
Who would have thought training your employees is actually required?
Right?
Trust me, I beat my head against the wall every day on that. Hey, Sima Dahl, you are just amazing. Global keynote speaker, business trainer, and executive coach. How can our viewers connect with you?
It's the easiest pie. I'm simadahl.com. SIMADAHL, simadahl.com. And you'll find me, Sima Says, on LinkedIn and Twitter and X and Insta. And I'm working up the nerve to give TikTok a try. I'm not sold yet. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure you want to see me there, but I think coming to a TikTok channel soon near you.
Awesome. Very awesome. That is amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. And everybody, as the HR lady, I'm always looking for feedback on the program. Feel free to reach out if there's a specific topic or a guest you want to hear, Or if you're interested in being a guest, just drop me a line at wendy@thehrlady.com. And the other thing I wanted to remind everybody is that I have just recently launched a new membership-based learning management system, the Insider Access by the HR Lady. Check it out for free. We hope this information has been helpful. Thanks for joining us and take care.
Thanks, JC and Wendy.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.